Good evening and welcome back to another episode of The Longing. Today we're going to be continuing to read the Iliad by Homer. So, let's get going. Their ardour kindles all the Grecian powers, and now the stones descend in heavier showers, as when high Jove his sharp artillery forms, and opes his cloudy magazine of storms. In winter's bleak uncomfortable rain, a snowy inundation hides the plain. He stills the winds and bids the skies to sleep, then pours the silent tempest thick and deep. And first the mountain tops are covered o'er, then the green fields, and then the sandy shore. Bent with the weight the nodding woods are seen, and one bright waste hides all the works of men. The circling seas alone absorbing all, drink the dissolving fleeces as they fall. So from each side increased the stony rain, and the white ruin rises o'er the plain. Thus godlike Hector and his troops contend, to force the ramparts and the gates to rend. Nor Troy could conquer, nor the Greeks would yield, till great Sarpedon towered amid the field. For mighty Jove inspired with martial flame his matchless son, and urged him on to fame. In arms he shines conspicuous from afar, and bears aloft his ample shield in air, within whose orb the thick bull hides were rolled, ponderous with brass and bound with ductile gold. And while two pointed javelins arms his hands, majestic moves along and leads his Lycian bands. So press with hunger from the mountain's brow, descends a lion on the flocks below. So stalks the lordly savage o'er the plain, in sullen majesty and stern disdain. In vain loud mastiffs bay him from afar, and shepherds gall him with an iron war. Regardless, furious, he pursues his way. He foams, he roars, he rends the panting prey. Resolved alike divine Sarpedon glows, with generous rage that drives him on the foes. He views the towers and meditates their fall, to sure destruction dooms the aspiring wall. Then casting on his friend an ardent look, fired with the thirst of glory, thus he spoke. Why boast we, Glaucus, our extended reign? 226. Where Xanthus' streams enrich the Lycian plain, our numerous herds that range the fruitful field, and hills where vines their purple harvest yield. Our foaming bowls with purer nectar crowned, our feasts enhanced with music's nightly sprightly sound. Why on those shores are we with joy surveyed, admired on as heroes and as gods obeyed, unless great acts superior merit prove, and vindicate the bounteous powers above? 'Tis ours the dignity they give to grace, the first in valour as the first in place, that when with wondering eyes our martial bands behold our deeds transcending our commands, such they might cry deserve the sovereign state, whom those that envy dare not imitate. Could all our care elude the gloomy grave, which claims no less the fearful and the brave? For lust of fame I should not vainly dare in fighting fields, nor urge thy soul to war. But since, alas, ignoble age must come, disease and death's inexorable doom, the life which others pay let us bestow, and give to fame what we to nature owe. Brave though we fall, and honoured if we live, or let us glory gain, or glory give. He said his words the listening chief inspire, with equal warmth and rouse the warrior's fire. The troops pursue their leaders with delight, rush to the foe and claim the promised fight. Mnestheus from on high the storm beheld, threatening the fort and blackening in the field. Around the walls he gazed to view from far what aid appeared to avert the approaching war, and saw where Teucer with the Ajaces stood, of fight insatiate, prodigal of blood. In vain he calls, the din of helms and shields rings to the skies and echoes through the fields. The brazen hinges fly, the walls resound. Heaven trembles, roar the mountains, thunders all the ground. Then thus to Theus hence with speed he said, and urged the bold Ajaces to our aid. Their strength united best may help to bear the bloody labours of the doubtful war. Hither the Lycian princes bend their course, the best and bravest of the hostile force. But if too fiercely there the foes contend, let Telamon at least our towers defend, and Teucer haste with his unerring bow to share the danger and repel the foe. Swift at the word the herald speeds along the lofty ramparts through the martial throng, and finds the heroes bathed in sweat and gore, opposed in combat on the dusty shore. Ye valiant leaders of our warlike bands, your aid, said Theus, Pityeus' son demands. Your strength united best may help to bear the bloody labours of the doubtful war. Thither the Lycian princes bend their course, the best and bravest of the hostile force. But if too fiercely here the foes contend, at least let Telamon those towers defend, and Teucer haste with his unerring bow to share the danger and repel the foe. Straight to the fort great Ajax turned his care, and thus bespoke his brothers of the war. Now, valiant Lycomede, exert your might, and brave Oileus, prove your force in fight. To you I trust the fortune of the field, till by this arm the foe shall be repelled. That done, expect me to complete the day. Then with his sevenfold shield he strode away. With equal steps bold Teucer pressed the shore, whose fatal bow the strong Pandion bore. High on the walls appeared the Lycian powers, like some black tempest gathering round the towers. The Greeks oppressed their utmost force unite, prepared to labour in the unequal fight. The war renews, mixed shouts and groans arise, tumultuous clamour mounts and thickens in the skies. Fierce Ajax first the advancing host invades, and sends the brave Epicles to the shades. Sarpedon's friend across the warrior's way, rent from the walls a rocky fragment lay. In modern ages not the strongest swain could heave the unwieldy burden from the plain. He poised and swung it round, then tossed on high. It flew with force and laboured up the sky. Full on the Lycian's helmet thundering down, the ponderous ruin crushed his battered crown. As skilful divers from some airy steep headlong descend and shoot into the deep, so falls Epicles, then in groans expires, and murmuring to the shades the soul retires. And with that, we come to the end of the episode. Excuse me. So let's sit back down, and then, as always, I will say thank you very much for joining us today. I hope you all have a wonderful morning, evening, afternoon, or night. No matter what time of day it is, I hope you all have a wonderful one of it. And as always, we will be back tomorrow for more of The Longing. Goodbye.